We are heading in right now. It's time, so we're gonna line up with all the people for the escalator.
The trick is, you guys, they don't let you bring your own drinks in, but they can't test us all. They can't search everybody. So you just bull rush them with 9 Gatorades and 4 energy drinks.
And if they have a problem, you say,
"No habla inglés."
"Show me where to spend all my money." First kayak booth we stop at, you guys, we got Pelican and Wilderness systems. If you guys aren't familiar, they're GSM Outdoors. They work together, kind of like Bonafide native. So they've got some cool kayaks here. These are like your budget-friendly, do-all, like they punch above their weight in price so much. It's great. So always a good option. But we got the Catch, $1,000 kayak right there. This one's pretty solid. So the HD2 gives you a pedal option under $1,500, like right at $1,500 fin drive, and it's actually got like reinforced front end there, so you bump into rocks, you're good. Comfy seat. There's your rudder system. You've got tracks throughout, and you can mod the heck out of this thing. You can see they already got pre-installed deck loops and all the stuff you need. Rod holders, forward-facing rod holder, which is like a premium underlooked feature, which is solid, and it's on the right side, which is great. We love to see that. Swing over here that way. You loop this way, so you go from the pedal version to the paddle version. You save yourself $500. Pretty much virtually the same exact like mold that they're using with this. You still get your forward-facing rod holder, rear rod holders, plenty of room in the back. You got a rudder with a bungee system, which is sweet. Really well thought out, really well built. Cup holders just inside with a bungee. I like that because most cup holders don't drain. So there you go. Again, comfy seat. All sorts of great options on these. And then we swing over here. This one we were really excited about. This we saw at ICAST last year. Actually already did a full walkthrough of this thing, but check this out. Using their Wilderness system seat where you have a standing platform, or if you want to just sit at a higher position, tool spots, attach your like tool retractors, all that stuff so you don't lose any gear. I think that's really neat. Look at these. So these are your universal mounting platforms. You wouldn't think you'd see that on an inflatable, but you definitely see it on most these days. These guys have 3. 1, 2, 3 of them, so you can put all of your favorite kayak accessories right on here. So they're going to be compatible with your Scotty, Yak Attack, etc. All those accessory brands, you're good to go. These things are super puncture resistant. Everybody's afraid, like, what if I take this inflatable out? I'm going to pop it. This thing is rigid. Like, I cannot move this thing. And yes, I do work out sometimes. So it is heavy, heavy duty. We're gonna hopefully at some point take a bunch of inflatables out, beat the tar out of them, maybe just stab them with a knife and repair them. We'll show you guys. It's not that scary. Also really comfy handles here with that like little neoprene on it. Instead of a cargo at the front of like your molded kayaks, you've got just the bungee system. So you can strap down camping gear, all sorts of things like that. Go on a river float. We got this rail up here, which is serving as like a captain's bridge. So you can clamp different accessories to that as well. So that's really neat. And also I didn't even see this yet. There's another mounting spot right there. Seat comes out. So when you deflate, inflate, you can take the seat off, throw it in your vehicle, deflate this thing. It goes into a pack, compacts really small. So that is neat to see. Also fish measurements. And grippy platform for standing. These things are super stable. If you've never been in an inflatable kayak before, they are more stable than you would ever believe. More stable than any of the molded kayaks really that you're gonna see out there. You can walk all over this platform. You're not tipping anywhere. Really flat too. You're gonna be able to just skim over the top of any of your skinniest waters you can think of. And you can add a fin or a skeg down there for tracking because it is flat. If you're on open water, you get hit by wind, you're gonna blow all over the place like a top. So you can put a fin at the stern and the bow there, which maybe prevents you from bumping into things, and it's $13.49, so really affordable in the inflatable market. All right, this one we're really excited about because we love our Titan X. We love just the tournament platform, but they're all so expensive. Titan X with the pedal drive there, you're talking $36.99 to get into it, let alone adding all the accessories, plus you have to do all the wiring yourself. So Wilderness Systems came out with what I feel like is one of the most well thought out kayaks I've seen at $21.99, pre-wired for a bow mount motor. So you take your XI3, which is pretty much the only bow mount motor you're gonna grab right now, and you get your spot lock or your regular. All you gotta do is buy the motor in the quick release bracket. It's already pre-wired. You can see we got the receptacle right there, so you just get it, you plug it in, you're good. They even have a 60 amp breaker at the back, you'll see in a second, but just bow to stern, check this thing out. You got the dual tune hull here, handles on either side. Look at that, so that's gonna give you amazing stability. We were out on the water with this yesterday. It is incredibly stable and spacious. Look at the cockpit there. You can walk all over that thing. It's like a living room on the water. It's insane. A super wide platform at about 38 inches. And the gunnels, look at those gunnels. super skinny, about an inch or so on either side. So inside, you're talking 35, 36 inches of spacious platform. That's awesome. If you love to stand and cast like I do, it gives you a lot of room to walk around in. But I really like this. If you guys have seen the Titan X, check this out. The Titan X, your bow mount motor is sitting like this, right? So it covers the cargo hatch when stowed. When deployed, you can access your hatch. Wilderness System fixed a big issue most people don't think about. When this is up in the stowed position, you can still access that front hatch, and this is also removable and rather spacious. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can just pack into here without wasting any space. In my Titan X, a battery's in there, and that's about all I got room for. Something to think about. Heavy duty latches on that, I like to see that. Heavy duty handles built into the front, and then here's your mounting bracket. Again, this is preset, ready to go for you. You get this quick release that Motor Guide makes. It's about 80 bucks. You buy that, you buy your motor, everything else is done for you, including all of the wiring, which is insane to think about. And why don't more kayak companies do that? All right, so come around here real quick. You see this quick release bracket. If you guys haven't seen me do it on my Titan X, this bar pops out. This whole thing comes right off the top. So if you're loading this up or stowing or whatever, you just take the motor off, save yourself a whole bunch of weight. It makes it a lot easier to move the whole dang thing around. Another crazy thing to think about with this is that now I'd love to see this on every kayak. There's a captain's bridge already installed. Captain's bridge companies are going to be really upset, but we got a track already included, so you don't have to spend an extra, what is roughly $150, $200 for the captain's bridge setup in order to mount your fish finders and whatnot. It's already here. You can see the 2-screen setup they got going on with the Lowrance here. Really clean. You can still access both hatches without this being in the way. And all you got to do is add this Yak Attack through hull kit, run your wires through that. That is something you would have to wire. But again, having the motor already done, so simple, so nice to see. Check this out. Stowage, this is a bass boat now. You can see you can fit 3,600 size boxes in here. It goes through and you got 2 hatches. So if you had one of your fish finders forward and you couldn't access this one, for example, you can reach through that side. Got a whole bunch of bait graveyards in here, and they have their version of the PowerLink replaceable through-hole wiring stuff, so you don't have to drill your hull. Again, every kayak should have this. These are replaceable, probably around 15, 20 bucks. Super easy. You just pop off all these screws, replace it, you're done. So if you mess up, it's not a big mistake. If you drill through the hole and mess up, it's a huge mistake. That's a problem. These are pre-tapped for your foot steering here. So you can add these afterwards. You can see that we got the foot steering set up with your cable. That does include the tubing as well. So all you have to do is run your steering cables. The tubing's in there, super easy to do. You just slide that cable all the way through, tie it up to your foot steering pads, and you're good. It's a lot easier if you already have the tube on there, so that's helpful. Seat's super comfortable. It's deeper than most seats. What I notice on the water is if you're sitting back in the seat and casting, it's a really natural like swivel position, and you've got so much room on either side that you're not really running into things. So it is really comfortable. If I need to go cast over here, the whole seat just goes with me. Feels natural, feels smooth, boat doesn't tip because it's super stable. This through-hole plate right here is genius. It's much bigger than the power links that you see on like Bonafide Native. So you can fit like the bigger button dials if you get Yak Power, for example. So they have the Yak Power here. This is like their 7-panel switcher or whatever, but you can mount that easily on there, run your wires through it. And I'm sitting here, I can just turn stuff off and on easily. Mine right now, it's in the very front of the boat. It's a pain in the butt. Going back, you got a little more storage here. You can see they have tons and tons of track. I think they said about 68 inches of track, which is absurd. You got your catch storage for your boards. Foot pedal's in the way right now, but you can see there's a little catch mount there. So you can lay that down on an angle and get your fish into the appropriate position so you don't get DQ'd on that fish. There is a hatch right here, so it's covered up by your crate right now, but your battery is gonna sit in there, which is really cool. It's got the double security latches there. The breaker is inside of there. Like I said, it's a 60 amp breaker, so that's gonna work for your Motor Guide XI3. So check that out. There's our battery, 2 of them actually, because they got the Newport. So we've got a stern motor on here, bow mount motor, 2 power poles. It's insane. And it's actually, if you can see down there, it's molded in. So this battery will not slide around. Designed for any of your like Group 24 size 100 amp batteries. You're good to go. Oh, we got the really cool wilderness crate there, and they've got bungees on the side here attached to a track so you can secure this properly in place. That's one of the features I loved on my Titan X. I love seeing that on more kayaks as well. Back here, 2 more plates for wiring, and then you got your stern motor here. 2 of the 4-bolt pattern brackets back here too, so if you want to go dual power pole with your motors and everything, you can do that. That's pretty crazy. And then a rear hatch. Oh, and 2 tracks. One thing that I love is when you do tournaments, you gotta have this flag for safety. Having the track back here way behind your crate keeps it out of the way. When it's too close to the crate, your rods get tangled up in it. It's a pain in the butt. I hate it. So this helps out a lot. So ultimately what we're looking at is for $21.99, you've got essentially a tournament ready rig. You do have to buy the motor. So all in, I think if you do the math on this, you're still under $3,600, $3,700 rigged out with motor. If you got a fish finder already, throw it on this bad boy, you're good to go. You're hitting the tournaments right off the bat. $2,200 is insane. Now this doesn't drop until about March of next year, March 2025. So when we see this hit the market, we definitely want to get ourselves into one because this looks really cool, and I think it fits our budget-friendly folks who want tournament rigs. There you go, Tactical Pro 128.
So I'm legit in the aisle waiting room. We're waiting to talk about the aisle Flywater, and I just realized I'm sitting in a small waiting room full of their actual stuff. You can go buy this chair. What the frick? This is so sick. What? They got pockets stitched onto the side. What are inflatables doing? They are evolving.
Party chair?
This is more durable than my home furniture.
It's really comfortable.
It's insane.
You would look at this because it's like just flat, but it is rather comfortable.
So first nap at ICAST. Later, bro.
This is Infinity Fiber, and this is a demo of just how incredible this material is. We have two different demonstrations. One is with our panels, which represents our transom and our drop stitch floor, and the other is with our tubes here, which represent the pontoons on the Flywater. So the best way is for you to just stand on this one. This is a normal drop stitch, 15 PSI, same exact inflation pressure. So if you step right in the middle of that with both feet.
Oh boy.
So
That is squishy.
yeah, that's regular drop stitch, 15 PSI, fully inflated. That now, same pressure with our Infinity Fiber material, and you'll see the difference in the rigidity.
Oh, what?
It's like a totally different.
Kickflip.
You can make that into a balance board. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So 5x rigidity compared to typical drop stitch when we add Infinity Fiber.
I know that's what the math says. It feels like 10.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty incredible material. It is a very high performance composite.
So you guys won an award for this.
We did. So 2023 Popular Science Innovation of the Year.
That is King of the Nerds magazine. They know everything. That's where all the good stuff is going to go. I don't even think you can get published in that magazine unless you have a degree. So those are people smarter than me saying that this is better. That's all you need to know.
What's really cool about it is I was impressed because we went through like 7 rounds of vetting. There were 7 rounds of them vetting us, talking about it, going through as they brought it down to the finalists. So it was pretty cool.
They play no games.
They don't mess around. So bend that in half. You're just going to put it like this. Put it like this.
Oh, okay.
And push it in the middle.
Like, you watch the least efficient way to do it.
There you go. All right, so that's just a normal pontoon.
Wow.
And then you've got the same thing.
If I bend it, am I in trouble?
No, you're not. You
win a
can,
prize.
Oh my gosh!
you'll eventually bend it. You'll eventually bend it.
You
but
literally have to karate chop it with all your might in slow motion. That's
it's
nuts.
It's really hard. Like, so this stuff, it's 5x. Like 5x is our number. We do a lot of testing to validate, how rigid this stuff is. And yeah, like pretty much 5x rigidity, and that's also what the testing with NASA and the Navy has shown as well, and they do a lot more robust testing than we do. Of course, we do use scientific instrument. It's called an instrum. It tests rigidity.
Well, it freaking shows. Now, there's some specific places where they're putting this on this boat. So this is the Isle Flywater. This is their 12.6. This is a paddleable kayak where you are absolutely going to fly, and a lot of that is because of the rigidity and also the catamaran design where the floor is actually elevated roughly 6 inches above the water. So the Flywater material is underneath in the pontoons, correct?
The Infinity Fiber is on the bottom of the pontoon. So one of the big problems we wanted to solve for with this inflatable compared to traditional inflatables is durability. Because yeah, rigidity is great. This thing is crazy rigid, but the durability you get on the pontoon where you're going to be interacting with rocks, oyster beds, barnacles, like whatever you're hitting under there, you have like the same kind of like 5x better durability compared to a traditional inflatable.
Well, and the inflatables today are super durable, so we're not saying that they're not durable because they are, but when you're beating that by 5x, like that's insane. I'm going to find a screwdriver in the river. It's going to happen. Like, I'm going to go over it. I am not a good driver. It's going to happen. So knowing that you've got 5x the amount of not only rigidity to keep all that energy that you're putting into your paddling or the work your motor is doing to go fast and stay efficient, but on top of that, you're 5x durable to not get a puncture. And then it's also in the transom.
Yeah, it's also back here at the transom. So the transom, this is pretty much the transom. So we use this material in the transom, and just like you saw with the demonstration, this will hold like over 200 pounds of weight. So like this, our motor mount, we have a custom motor mount system. This is set up with a Bixby, so you only use the power pole pattern. You only need 4 screws because this is it's a 1 horsepower motor. But we have the additional brackets, and we have a custom aluminum plate that goes over here so you can add up to a 5 horsepower motor. But at the end of the day, you can stand on the back of this and you will not bend that transom just like this with the demonstration. So that transom is rock solid.
And that's the differentiation between this and all the other inflatables. So again, you see those fly fishing grabs, you see a lot of these, dudes who are living on the river, being able to not have holes, being able to fish all day, et cetera, et cetera. And then the whole thing only weighs like 48 pounds. This is the upgraded version of that. Again, I think the weight was 49 pounds
for the boat. So the hull, and then it all fits into the roller backpack together with your accessories. We always make that oversized so that you can fit all of your accessories. There's nothing more annoying than buying a boat like this or any kind of inflatable and you can't actually get it back in the bag.
We've all been kids and trying to jam a sleeping bag back into the sleeping bag. You're not gonna have that situation. This is gonna be much easier. And then you get the dual action pump. You get single if you want, but dual action, so this is gonna pump up in less than 10 minutes, even if you're by yourself and you don't know what you're doing. So there's a lot to love about this configuration. This can be a 2-person boat. They have these loops going all the way here, and you can see where they've got these G-clips where you can anchor things down like your seats. They've got the bag back here for your fishing accessories, but you really get unlimited customizability. So I think you may end up seeing Jeff and I fishing on this bad boy because you can do 2 seats pretty easily. You may see some kids jumping off here, diving off the front. So it really is that like multifunctional machine. And this is something that I think people are still new to. So if you look down here, you can see that you are able to put on your Yak Attack, your Scotty mount, whatever it is, accessories, just like in any other fishing kayak, cup holders, whatever it happens to be, self-contained fishing mounts, you've got, or fish finders, you name it, you've got the opportunity to put those on here. These are stitched in. This is heavy duty.
Just pop right off. So this is the universal mount. This is the Yak Attack version, and these can just be super easily customized. Pop anything in and out of these. Same thing for Ram mount, Scotty. So all of our accessory mounts are universal. You can use them for anything. You can add additional ones as well, but we put these here as kind of the most common locations where you might want those already pre-installed.
So these release next year.
This year. Oh. So in August, we'll have a very limited supply.
That's right.
So you can sign up now on our website to be notified when they arrive. They should be here by late August. Very limited quantities, but then we'll have a full release for next spring.
And then the price, $14.99?
Yeah, the ones that'll be coming out this spring, and the standard package will be $16.95. Well, the base model is $14.95 with just the boat, and then we'll have it up to $18.95. Because we do also have the console seat. We should probably walk over and look at the console seat. It's in the Bixby booth, so we can check that out.
I will show you guys that on a short here coming in soon, so you'll see that on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
But we will definitely show you the captain seat because it is a banger. So one thing, we showed you the inflatable seat that is on the Isle Flywater. This is the one we saw on the water at the show with the custom Bixby mount, which is really, really cool. But what you're seeing here is this is their captain's chair. So this is really a dual purpose chair. You can see all the slots here. These will all work with your, as you can see here, Yak Attack style, kayak style accessories. Anything that uses a T-bolt will mount to these areas, including the back here. Now, obviously this is much more heavy duty. Still goes in. They just have carabiners, and then they've got these G-clips. So that's how this mounts. You can put this wherever you want. You can have 2 seats. This one's cool because you can flip it around. You can lean on it, so this is your lean bar, but you can actually stand back here and then have someone sit in the seat. So sitting, standing, flip it around, move it around, put it wherever you want. This thing is it is really, really cool. The inflatable seat's nice. This would certainly be your upgrade. So when these things get kitted out, as you can see here, you basically have, I don't want to say unlimited options. There are a ton of different ways that you can rig these out with the deck loops that go all the way here. You can do 2 or even 3 people pretty easily because, again, the weight capacity on this is over 600 pounds. That is freaking nuts. So loving the Flywater. Honestly, they killed it. And really just getting introduced to Isle for the first time. Super impressed with how they've been able to take all the technology from their paddle boards and bring it into a fishing, multi-purpose, fun fishing, or just fun boat. So crushed it. So we just showed you guys the aisle and all the accessories and all the cool things about it. But one thing I wanted to call out, they've been doing this for like over 20 years. So aisle, maybe not something you've heard about in fishing, but when it comes to paddleboards and inflatables, like this is actually their world. So these are the paddleboards that they make. You kind of see some of the copy here, like fishing has even been part of their DNA for a long time. So when it comes to some of the tertiary stuff, like for example, the pump, this pump has been designed and been tested and been used on their other products. So you get the dual power, you get the high quality. You can just tell from the way this thing's constructed, it's ready to go. This is not day one stuff for them. This is like, we've done this for a long time and now we're just adapting what we've done into the fishing world, which I think is really cool. There's always going to be a place for inflatables. I think we just need to kind of showcase where it is. So fast, convenient, light. You don't have a truck, you can still go fishing. I love it. It's pretty sick. Kudos to Isle.
On this episode of Who's That, we got Creek Fishing Adventures. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, what am I doing here? I'm doing great. How's everybody out there in YouTube world?
How's your show?
It's awesome.
What are you excited about?
From here?
Yeah.
Say the cricket.
The new Rebel stuff. I'm trying to get some kayaks, some fishing poles. Have you seen all the inflatable stuff? There's a ton of inflatable stuff. Not that I'm getting anything.
We've covered them all.
Oh, okay. Well, they look really cool.
Get on our level.
It's not gonna be like that. It doesn't have to be like that.
We love this guy. Good seeing you, man. All right, we're gonna look at these kayaks now. Over at the Bonafide Native booth, we got Hans here. He's gonna walk us through what to me was a complete surprise drop. And we were here yesterday. People were like, hey, what do you think about this new Bonafide boat? And I was like, what new Bonafide boat? So Hans, talk to us about this. What do we got?
So I'm glad it was a bit of a surprise. That's cool, right? Like
Huge
that
surprise.
is enjoyable. Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts about it? Just as you see it walking up. I'm just curious.
This is the most bass boat kayak I've ever seen bass boat on a kayak.
Bass boat kayak. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's awesome. No,
Crazy.
This is bass boat-like features on one of our kayaks. So like people say you should have bought a boat.
Here you go.
We got one.
You did it.
Right? So yeah, we got it. 700 pounds of capacity. So the upper deck, there have been a lot of questions like, can you really stand on it?
Yep.
It is made for that, right?
Wow.
So this is molded like a cooler lid.
Just lifting with this? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
100 amp hour battery storage or
Yeah.
lots of tackle. So this is really meant to be easy to access from your seat.
Yeah.
So now it doesn't have to be behind the seat anymore. It can be out in front
That's
of you.
awesome. For balancing weight and everything, that's great. And
Yep.
you got a PowerLink panel in there too, so you
PowerLink
can wire through there.
And that just cleans everything
Yeah.
up. Also, if you want to run monitors up here, there is a pass-through, so your wires can go through the deck and they can run up to your monitors.
Really cool.
So that's nice. There's a
Two-
little
two tracks here.
accessory tray. You know, you can throw a thermos up here, or
Nice.
some of your spinner
That's metal?
baits.
Oh, plastic?
That's a plastic part.
Yeah.
Yep. These tracks just allow you to decide, like, do I want my monitors up at me,
Yep.
further away, and then the forward hatch up here allows you to have that internal storage.
So I see you got this plate in here as well, and I got, like, honestly, just keeping everything organized. I manufactured one for my Titan X. It
Yeah.
wasn't pretty. So the fact that you guys are making one, and now I don't have to do that in the future,
Right.
makes me very happy. And you're saying this is kind of like prototyped. You're going to price it out later. We're not quite there, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. But as you can see, super clean.
Very clean, and this allows you to really have the stuff that's customized to the boat.
Yep. Awesome.
So I'll point out a couple of things that it's hard to catch all of this in these early videos, but this area is designed both for, like, if you use it as a tandem, this is foot room. So if you use this boat as a tandem, but this is drainage. So if you take
Yeah.
a wave over the bow, there are actually scuppers up here that allow the water to get away.
That's genius.
And then the other thing is that we have multiple mounting locations. So you can take this crossbar system or mount separately up here. The monitors can go up front, and you can still use a bow mount motor as well.
You know, and I see you got your captain's bridge here as well, so that's something you guys already offer as an accessory. This is really cool because you got the dual track there, so ultra secure on those monitors. Love that. I also noticed you guys have another version of this over there where you actually have the seat up on the front. So you've got like a mounting spot here.
If you you can take the upper deck off with 4 bolts, and you take a second seat, and it actually mates up to the boat underneath that deck.
Wow.
And you bolt it in with 4 knobs. Under a minute, you convert it to a tandem fishing boat. So that's
awesome.
that's a really nice way to go.
I love that.
Because the seat that we have is on track, you can send this seat to the back.
Yep.
And then what I do is I like to have this seat towards the back. I can add the Yak Attack 90-degree brackets on here and add foot braces here. So I can steer from the back of the boat, and I can have my son up here fishing off the front.
That's awesome.
That's the ability to just go from tandem to solo, tournament fishing to just whatever, kind of setting it up in different ways. So
That's huge. And then we saw these on the water yesterday. So did you guys just come out with these?
So these are really cool. These are accessory foot braces that we're just coming out with. They're going to be called our Wizard foot braces because we developed them with Rommel.
Yep.
And
Newport.
patents pending on these, but it comes with line guides, a actual line spool, so you can adjust it on the fly to whatever length that you need. They're on roller bearings.
Super smooth.
All right, and they're completely rebuildable as well.
Adjustable, and it solves a big problem with the steering cable too, because normally you pull it through, you got to pinch it off with nippers, you tie it off, you hope it's the right length, then it's not, then you're screwed. So this is really neat.
Send these to the back, tie them on, and then you adjust them up and you're ready to go.
So awesome. And it's really comfortable, archer your foot on here so you get no heel drag instead of the plate that you normally have.
You really don't need a flat plate with this because the steering is so easy. You just push with your toes, or you can kick it with an ankle.
I did both of those.
There you go. So if you can actually stand and steer just by having your feet kind of near them. So
because it's a bass boat, like I said.
I will say that too. This is something that we really haven't touched on yet. Is that this area is really made for the foot steering module for the bow mount motor. So we haven't gotten into fully testing it, but the stability's there, everything's really there. So if you want a foot steer from that module, you could do that too.
I love that. I also noticed too, you guys have the deep channels here for drainage, so no soggy feet in this boat, eh?
Right. So this is something that I've been developing over time, but the water flexes into the channels so that when you get into waves and water's moving up through the scuppers, it diverts there before it gets your feet wet. So when I say 700 pounds of capacity, what I'm really saying is that the water's getting to the channels first. So even above that, you probably won't have your feet wet above that yet.
I love to see that.
This is a prototype, so it's kind of sticky because the paint's getting sticky. But this junk drawer will come with the boat, and it is on rails that are on the seat.
Nice.
So you can
smooth
in and out. You can leave it at home, and you have all that storage underneath you. Or if you like that smaller tackle storage, you'll be able to store I think 4 3700 planos underneath there.
That is insane.
And you'd still have room underneath it as well. So you got a lot of room.
So too much stuff you can bring with you, you know what I mean?
You really can.
Like I always do.
The cool thing too is that this boat's big enough that a lot of your tackle can really be forward of you. So you just lean up or step up to the boat and just grab it. You don't have to turn around as much. You don't need as much behind you.
That's a really interesting take on kayaks because we're so used to having everything behind. So definitely interested to see how that works out for folks when they're going fishing. Sounds efficient to me.
Yeah.
So nice.
It's just a little bit easier way to go. Another thing is right outside the gunnels, these sort of vertical trusses support the seat, but outside here this is space where you really will customize it. For me, I would put bigger rod cradles out here and do horizontal rod storage. The boat will come with a smaller rod cradle, and these are rod tip protectors. It's just a place to set the rod. But I would have rod storage to one side, and then on the other side, if you have forward-facing sonar, you could have that on the other side. So you kind of have a lot of room to get stuff to the outside of the boat. The back of the boat, you've got more storage back here for adding rod holders, crates, and then a full battery bay with tie downs.
Molded in with the tie downs, that little bar there. Love that.
And so you can rig all of your wiring through the hatch here. And then we have paddle clips because you still want to bring a paddle with you, even though you probably won't paddle the boat that much. But you want to have a paddle with you. And then all of the steering lines are going to run through the boat right here at the
pre-tapped?
They're yes, they are pre-tapped.
Tubes inside or no tubes?
No tubes. They're tubing ports, and then you'll have dual handles, dual skid plates. You can see that back there, and then 2 spots to mount your downscan transducers.
Which again is like a really interesting take on kayaks because you never see that. That is also very bass boaty.
It's very bass boaty. It just allows it to be where most bass anglers would expect it to be. The other thing too about this boat is that at 700 pounds of capacity, the capacity is carried forward and back in this boat pretty far. So whether you're in the front or the back, you got a lot of stability. A little different than some other boats that are actually in that realm of size.
And I love to hear that because I stand and fish almost the whole time I'm out on the water. So that is really awesome. When is this dropping? What's the price point?
All right, we'll be shipping in October, and the price point will be $27.99.
Wow. And that includes...
So you're going to have one seat, junk drawer, and all the deck traction you see here, all the rails, and you're going to have our standard Bonafide foot braces and the ability to upgrade to those ball-bearing foot braces.
Awesome. How much are the ball-bearing foot braces running?
We don't know yet. It's so new, but it'll probably be around $150 at retail for the foot braces.
Is that so? That's like the everything you need to do it, cable and everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the whole set of $150.
thing,
Arguably
yeah.
the best foot braces I've ever seen. We've tried a bunch of different ones. I used this yesterday. Fell in love. You love them. You used it too, dude. They're so good.
It's butter.
When would those hit the market? When are we getting those?
They'll be in October as well.
So October 1st, you get the kayak, you get the foot braces, $27.99. This thing's insane. Nice work.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Gosh
I'm
dang.
excited. I'm glad that everybody's been excited to see it.
Yeah.
And we get to have this whole conversation about boats and kayaks.
I love kayaks pretending to be bass boats.
That's a good way to say it. Kayaks pretending to be bass boats.
It's a bass boat in disguise.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally we get over here. We've got the NS130. So this is your inflatable raft. Talk to me about this design here.
So this is, NS130. It's, as the designates, 13.0. So it's 13 feet long. It's 48 inches wide, so it'll fit in between the wheel wells of a pickup truck. It is right around 66 pounds whole weight, fully rigged with the seat and the crossbars. It's
With
right-
all of that,
Yep.
wow.
So 80 pounds right there. So obviously transom, so you can do up to a 6-horse, whether electric or gas. We have our electric our NT300 on here. You guys were on it yesterday. You guys got to play around with it.
It's fast.
It does,
It's very fast.
with this NT300 in flat calm conditions, it will hit 7.6 miles an hour
Wow.
as it sits.
And if we throw the 600 on there,
You guys are flying. Jamming. So we have this set up. This is basically fully rigged version that we have. So we have our track rails here. One of the things about having inflatable is mounting accessories kind of is not optimum, right?
Yep.
So we have our track rail system here that runs pretty much 2/3 of the boat. Let's call it
a lot of the boat.
A lot of the boat.
A lot of the boat.
So we have our seat here. This is a Temper seat, very comfortable. But we designed the seat base to be up high. So you have a lot of room underneath to store stuff. You can also, you notice the seat's offset to the left. You can also set it for the center or you can set it for the right. But what that allows you to do is rotate your body and it puts the tiller right at your hip. So it's more comfortable to use. It also allows you to swivel and turn around easier because your legs come over, have more room instead of going over the tubes.
Used this yesterday. Sitting sideways with the tiller was very comfortable, very natural. I can just imagine running upriver on this. This thing would be an absolute blast. So I think that's really neat. I also really like the dual track setup that you guys have here. Versus a lot of inflatables, you're just going to get that one little bracket, and you might get 4 or 5 of them. So you really have one spot your accessories can go. Here you can slide them all up and down, and you got 2 rows of them. That's cool. I see you can move the seat forward and back as well. So you can figure out what works for you.
You can tandem it too, so you can slide this back here, add another seat on the front rails,
So
and
cool.
you can run
Jeff,
tandem.
you can do 2 people. It's not just going to be you in there.
I don't want to. I will push you out. It will be mine.
So
Oh yes, it will be mine.
Higher law.
Exactly. Talk to us about inflating this thing, because one thing about inflatables is obviously if I take it to wherever I'm going, it's not inflated, it's in a big old bag or something. How long is it going to take me to set this thing up?
So I've timed myself multiple times, and I've done it like
Time trial.
Yeah. So I have inflated this thing with a hand pump in under 10 minutes.
With hand pump, were you sweating?
I'm not gonna lie, I was sweating, but
It is an effort.
not gonna lie, but it is an effort. So we have a dual stage, high volume pump here. So that comes with the boat and the
Compact
kit.
design,
Compact
too.
design, yeah. High volume, dual stage.
Like that whistle? Half the time the pump to your normal bike pump.
100%. And then so our tubes are inflated to right about 3 PSI, and then the floor inflates to 8. So it definitely inflates up pretty quickly. So like I said, under 10 minutes to get it inflated.
Nice.
What I normally do is like when I'm done off the water, beach it up, open the valves, go grab my truck. By the time I get back, it's deflated, roll it up, and throw it in the back of the truck, I'm gone.
That's awesome. How big's the bag? Do you guys have it?
We don't have the bag here, but you can get that information online. But it rolls up, fits into the back of a sedan. I've done it. Yeah, I mean it'll take the whole sedan trunk, but it will fit in the back of a sedan.
But for a full size, like this is a full size with a transom and a freaking like a mount and everything. That's with this rails. That's insane.
Wheels on the bag, roller bag?
Wheels on the roller bag.
Yeah.
So now when
Going through customs. Let's go.
Now when I'm carrying your boat.
Now when Paul is wheeling it around, it'll be easier for Paul.
Right. So in this one, we also have the bow mount option. So we do have the bow mount option. So you
Captain's deck.
Yeah, you'll be able to put your bow mounts on there, XI3 or whatever, Tarova, any brand. Universal bow mount.
Drill through?
Yeah, just drill through.
Okay, yep.
It's a 3/4 or half-inch starboard.
Yep.
It's got all aluminum hardware. It runs on these tubes that mount to the track. Very easy to take apart and very lightweight.
So durability-wise, because this is everybody's biggest fear with inflatables, if I run into a rock, am I dead?
No.
Cool. What would you say like puncture resistance we got going on?
Puncture, you literally have to do a full-on hook set in order to puncture.
With a 10-aught hook.
Yeah, with a 10-aught, or flipping hook or something like that. I mean,
Ike's Monster Jig.
I tell people this all the time. I was working on our prototype and I was doing something and I dropped a claw foot hammer right on the thing. I looked at it.
Just bounced off?
Bounced off and we're good to go. So
nice.
The amount of force that you would have to apply to puncture this is, I mean...
So NT 600 into a rogue shale bluff. Could I puncture
I think
this?
you'd survive still.
What? Come with repair kits. How many repair patches do I get?
I believe it's 3. You got to also remember too, you got 4 chambers plus the floor.
So it's not like the whole thing just deflates instantaneously.
So you got
it.
Yeah, 4 separate chambers.
Cool.
And then the floor is its own separate chamber as well.
All right, so what are we talking retail?
$19.99. $19.99, basically with the seat, how you guys rode it yesterday.
Yep.
$19.99.
That's awesome. So all in, so if I get an NT 300 and I get this, so I got 2K, about 2K. So for 4K, you've got a river beast ready to roll.
Yeah, for 2 people.
For 2 people.
Yeah. I tell you what I do, like sometimes I run the seat, sometimes I just throw a bucket or a cooler.
Also a great choice. But that seat is super comfortable, so.
No, a couple things that you don't see is actually underneath this floor when you inflate it, we have loops for wired. So if you run your battery up front, you can cable management built into the boat. It's underneath there. So if you have your transducer, mounts on the transom in the back, transducer line comes in through the loops, and then it'll just pop out wherever you want, and you can rig it up.
And then for this unit right here, you got a little tiny battery up here. Wow. I didn't even know it was there.
Simple. Yeah, just, real easy.
Simple is good. I like simple. All right, so with inflatables, are we running it just inflated at all times? Kind of pretend it's like a molded kayak, or do I have to deflate it every time?
You don't have to. It's up to you. I mean, I have a lot of customers. I mean, we've been building inflatables for a long time. Dinghies, tenders, whatnot. What a lot of our customers will do is during the busy season or during the spring or through the summer, they'll blow their boat up, use it for the whole season, and then during the winter, they'll deflate and take it down. Same thing with us. So
that's what I would do.
I do both, actually. I've done both. I mean, I've left mine inflated for weeks at a time. And I have, my sister owns a property on the Delta, so I have one.
Jelly.
Sitting there. And whenever I want to go fish it, I just throw this in the water and go fish. Let's go.
See you guys soon.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, man, for showing us this. Great raft, great products. check out Newport this year.
All right, y'all, we are here at the NuCanoe booth, and we've got a new release kayak and some really cool accessories we want to show you to just unlock full potential on these kayaks. We got Mike here who's gonna help us do this walkthrough. I want to start with the 10, the Unlimited 10. So this is a new release. This is the 10-foot version of their very popular Unlimited 12 that you guys have seen on our channel in the past. So walk us through the 10, show us, give us the showcase, give us the tour.
So absolutely. So as you can see, we actually still have the gear pod that was incorporated in Unlimited. But the best thing about it is as you incorporate these, you can still do so much with the gear pods, but yet still keep it simple, right? So what we did is we incorporated a yak power system is inside this gear pod. So it's internal. Your buttons are right here, so you can actually literally turn your bow lights on. You can literally, you know, have ample amount of storage, and there's actually 2 more ports that you can utilize. And then you can literally disconnect the transducer and take the gear pod out, and it's simple. So
that's
you can
smooth.
So I'll go ahead and do it real quick for you. You can literally loosen this, and now you have a gear pod that is kind of out. And then when you pretty much want to put transducer back on, you're there, and now you're back at it.
So this is what we were telling people between like the whole ecosystem of kayak is what we've kind of been talking about is like something that a lot of people miss. With this gear pod, you can leave it open if you want, not a big deal. But if you've got two Unlimiteds, I could take this and I can go to my 12. And I don't have to buy 2 pieces of equipment. I don't have to drill 2 holes. I don't have to do, it's just here, over there.
Plug and play. So that's the name of our game is plug and play. You know, keep everything kind of simple. And then of course moving back, we got the NuCanoe Quick Connect system, foot steer. I'll move this out of the way here.
Y'all, you need to pay attention. I'm telling you right now, this is one of my favorite things that I've seen. Like this is like in the top 5 of everything we've seen this whole year.
Yeah, so this is the Quick Connect system where you literally hold on by 2 T-bolts and a spin grip knob, and you literally heel left, toe right, heel left, toe right, heel left, toe right. So the cable is a single cable that runs all the way to the back, and you also have the reinforced, you know, transom plate.
Now, one thing I want to call out with this transom plate, when you buy, like, this is the Newport 180 motor. When you buy this motor, it comes with a huge bracket. It's very solid, it's very reliable, it's very quality. It's also kind of heavy and it's kind of big. This is so much smaller and lighter. And dude, show them. You gotta pull this bad boy off. Pull,
I can pull this up. You literally, so when you're coming up shallow, you literally pull this up. Now, did I hit you?
Jeff just took that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. But that is the pull, and the motor drops right back down. Pull it back up. You lock it back in its cleat, and you are out of the water. The cool thing is about this too, how easy it is to remove.
This is massive. Pay attention.
Literally there. Are you ready? There. And if you got the throttle cable connected, definitely want to make sure that throttle's cable there. And now you're out of the water.
When you are loading and unloading, this adds a lot of weight to the rear because a lot of times you got a battery back here. It doesn't matter how light your kayak is. You just added like 40, 50 pounds to your boat. I have personally done this. You're at a wet boat launch, you're at a steep angle, and you're trying to load in the back of your truck. This is right in your way because this is where you put the front in your truck, and then you try and pick this up. Even with handles and everything, it is a problem. This solves a massive, massive problem. Not only of high end, this is one of the most modular foot steering, the most effective foot steering pieces that I've seen yet, and with the ability to just take this off, it's like a safety feature at this point. I absolutely love the profile, great design. This is a big win.
Thank you. Another great thing too, so you got the U10, you also have the Unlimited. So you can actually take this, swap it right back under that motor.
Bro, again, I can't
system, it works miraculously. You know, it works. And that's the best part. The plug and play system is trying to keep it simple, trying to keep dealers, you know, easy to build, you know, and it makes it just simple.
I will also add, saves you a crap ton of money because instead of buying 2 Newports, you're buying 1, maybe you're buying another bracket, but the cost to apply this in the same way to 2 kayaks, it's awesome. That's that ecosystem where you can have the transferability and you only have to buy 2 hulls and that's it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct about that. It's just keeping everything efficient. You know?
And then you get all the standard features that you expect with the NuCanoe Unlimited. So you have places for your rods.
You also have the rigging plates that we ran. As you can see, we ran our transducer cord in, so it can keep the line real simple and clean. And also you got your Fusion 360 seat, just like all your other kayak NuCanoes we have. We also have this debut, of course, is our new Fusion 360 side tray that we actually incorporate our throttle on, just to make sure that, hey, you know, you have your options to run a flush mount, or you can utilize it here. It's still out of your way.
Well, the nice thing is when you turn the boat, you've got it right there with you, so it's right where it's always supposed to be. And with that 360 swivel seat, you're not missing anything.
And another cool thing is we actually utilized the black pack and ran the battery internal, so you can still have tackle storage, battery storage, all into one. So when you do remove this out into your vehicle, you literally disconnect from the plugs, and disconnect, right? And now you just literally take it, and now you're gone. So it's, like I said, try to keep things simple.
And again, 2 kayaks, 12 foot, 10 foot, pleasure barge, you know, hardcore boat, like small, stow and go. All of a sudden, you don't have to buy double of everything. I love that. I love that.
It's the simplicity, the plug and play system. That's what we love to call it. You know?
What's the retail on this one?
So this one right here is retail at $15.99, the way with just a seat in the kayak, and then you can build from there, and it's sky's the limit from going from there. Because electronics, you know, your batteries, everything else will come into play. But the cool thing is, if you had 2 different kayaks of NuCanoes, it can be pretty much interchanged between NuCanoe Unlimiteds, U10s, you know, even the Flints. You know, so the gear pod works on the Flint, Unlimiteds, and U10s. So the versatility to be able to do it all with very little. That's our goal.
You can add other things to it. They've got other options for you to add, things like pedal drives and some other stuff too. But if you're a NuCanoe, the U12 owner, now you got the throw and go version, but you're not buying double like we talked about, or you know, vice versa. If you get into 10 and you're like, yo, I fish a lot of big water, maybe I want the 12, or I want to build my tournament rig. It's a much less of an investment, and then you're still getting all the same features. So heck of a launch. Congratulations to you guys. This is awesome. And y'all, if you haven't checked out NuCanoe, I think now's the time.
All right, you guys, that is it for plastic boats, inflatable boats, big boats, little boats. What did you guys think about these mostly kayaks that we featured in this video? And make sure you check out our kayak accessory video as well. Technically, it's a fishing accessory, but lots of kayak stuff in there. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe, like, all those cool things, and we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.